Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City Beat. It is Purple Friday. The Ravens take on the Steelers this weekend. You know it, the biggest rivalry in the NFL, at least around here. Wow. Let's go, man. All three divisional opponents within the course of a month.
All on the road. All on the road.
Yep. So. Nasty work.
Yeah, and this might be the toughest one of them all. No, because the Cleveland Browns are down their quarterback. It looks like Kenny Pickett's going to play in this ball game, the bruised knee. I'm not sure how long he's going to survive in this football game because I don't think the Ravens are going to let him. They beat the shit out of him last year. Do you remember? I think with Roquan Smith beat the piss out of him.
That was his first game.
Already pumped up. This is going to be a really good game, and I think it's a true test for the Ravens. Because I think psychologically they have to play well. So because they haven't really played well against Pittsburgh in the Lamar era. So to me, that's the big question mark for me is how do we perform on the road against Pittsburgh in that environment with that defense and TJ Watt.
Yeah, Ross.
No, like I said, Lamar not the greatest. I mean, to be fair, hasn't played much against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, he's against Bengals, he's 7-1. Browns 7-2. Steelers, he's 1-2. He's been here 6 years and he's played 3 games he's started.
That's crazy.
They haven't won with him as starting since 19.
Dude, that's a crazy ass stat. How many? 3 times?
Yeah, he's been hurt. I mean, like last year
he's always been hurt, COVID. Yeah.
They benched him in the last game of 2019 because they were 14-2, 14-1, whatever it was.
True. I remember that.
The year before that, Flacco was at the helm.
Wow. That's crazy. Like I just didn't realize that. That is insane.
I knew he didn't play a lot, but yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. It's the only team he had in the AFC North. He has a negative touchdown to interception ratio against.
Oh, so I mean, let's talk about it. The Ravens have obviously been plagued by injuries this season. There's some words that some friends might be coming back. Ross, with the injury report, hit me.
Oh, we got our wide receiver core has stepped back up onto the field.
Let's go.
Bateman's full. Odell was limited. Humphrey was limited. Justice was limited. Ronnie Stanley was full 2 days in a row.
That's very
Marcus
good.
Williams was full 2 days in a row.
Wow.
Worley has not participated in the past 2 games, so probably he's out. Armour Davis went from limited to full.
Whoa.
Damn. And Justice Hill's limited. Like I said, Odell limited.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see both our wide receivers back this week, especially with Bateman.
Yeah.
2 days so far full.
To me, having Stanley back is the best news of the bunch, just because of what he represents. And with Moses, I mean, who knows with him? So I think he's all banged up. So it just allows you to sort of.
He was limited also.
You've got TJ Watt on the other side of that line. And so to have an all-pro left tackle back and let you put McCarty on the other side, it's huge. Otherwise, you were probably going to have some sort of combination of guys that you did not want to be on the edge. I mean, they did a good job last week with Garrett, but I feel like even TJ Watt's a different beast altogether.
I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be real perfectly honest with you. TJ Watt scares me more than any defensive end in the NFL. I'll be real honest with you. There is no one else that scares me more than TJ Watt. Like, he's the type of guy that punches walls. Like, no bullshit. That guy is psycho. And again, like you said, the best news, Ronnie Stanley showing up. Let's see how stable he is, but just that added protection. Linderbaum's still back, that centerpiece of the offensive line. Hopefully it'll hold up. I mean, we've seen some games where Lamar's athleticism has saved him. I've seen that a few times, and we're gonna need a lot of it because coming off that edge, there's no one more terrifying.
I will say, and this is not a normal thing for Pittsburgh. They're giving up almost 150 yards on the ground a game, which is ranked third worst in the NFL.
Mhm.
And so I think the Ravens want to negate some of that pass rush and protect Lamar and protect the offensive linemen. Just run the football, run the hell out of it with Gus Edwards, run it with Justice Hill, run it with they pull up the running back Melvin Gordon. But I mean, Lamar Jackson alone can just the ability to run the football is what's going to make him break this game. I think if we can't establish the run, I think it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
One piece that is not mentioned on the injury report technically, but Keenan Mitchell.
There it is.
He has been practicing. He will probably be, Justice Hill being limited. It would not surprise me if he is fine to play. He will be after Sunday, and all those little dump offs that that Gordon's been getting lately, that he's just not fast enough anymore to get that edge. Yeah, Mitchell's probably going to get that edge.
Yeah.
And the thing with Melvin Gordon is, I think he only has one more sort of like taxi run he can do between the practice squad, come back up. So now when he comes back up, you got to put him on the team to 53 for good. Or they're going to lose him. And so now I'm curious if he stays down this game. Let's Mitchell play, because honestly, Gordon has looked really strong. Like, I know he doesn't have home power, but he had a great catch down the sideline last week. He had some great runs.
100%.
Drake can go, but I think Melvin Gordon has been doing really well, and I think just considering you lost Dobbins, I think that's been so I'm really curious what they do with him. If they just cut somebody, carry somebody, they, less just to get him on the team.
No, I will say again, we got to establish run. I think the Ravens benefit from just being a very balanced team. Luckily, with Bateman possibly coming back, will we start to see more of that downfield passing? Like, do you think they're going to try? I mean, they have to at least. I don't know. They at least.
What do you think, Ross?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely say again, like I said, everyone was wondering how Monken was going to take the Ravens' philosophy that we've always done. He's done a great job at it. He's doing runs, keeping runs, knowing how to use run. But also, he's working the passing better at the right times, the right type of passing. And as I said before, Lamar can change stuff. He's not set like, this pass isn't going to work here. I don't know, just go. And I was like, yeah, we're changing this. But yeah, with Bateman, I can see a lot of people have been guessing. I could see this being a Zay Flowers breakout game.
Give him his first touchdown.
If Bateman is back.
First touchdown. Let's make it happen. Come on.
I do think Odell Beckham plays. I'm curious how many snaps he gets. He'll probably be on some sort of snap limit, but it just sucks that he's sort of fallen in that narrative. Like he hasn't really been on the football field in the last 2 years. And it's September and he's already missed 2 games. That's concerning to me. But I think having Nelson Aguilar, having Mark Andrews, having Zay Flowers, the Ravens offense hasn't really missed a beat, and it just blows my mind how much better it can be when you throw in a Hall of Famer receiver and a guy like Bateman, who's a first-round draft pick. Like the weapons galore. I think that's when you start seeing them push the ball down the field when they have enough guys underneath. Right now, no one's really scared of Aguilar, and Zay Flowers, electric. I think the play calling with him is a little predictable right now. I'd like to see them get a little more unique with his routes and maybe go deep with him more, but maybe they just don't want to do that with him because they don't want to get hurt. I don't know.
Can't live cautiously. Can't always live cautiously. I mean, again, we don't want him to get hurt, but again, you're an NFL football player. This is just what happens. I really want to see some of the route running that he can do, that Steve Smith-esque, just place. I want to see Zay open up. I think we have a gem, a diamond in the rough with him.
Ravens had that one play against Cleveland. Lamar rolled out, hit it right. If his cleats could have stuck any better in that dirt, he was gone.
Done. Because
he got his feet down and stuck. He just slid. So you get more plays like that.
I'll tell you what about this game I'm excited to see. And we talked a little bit about it in the beginning. That defense. I listen, for God, at least as long as we've been doing LitTube / Charm City Media, the defense has been a little shaky at times. It hasn't been consistent. It hasn't been that defense that we all loved pre-2013. That defense that virtually defined a city. This defense, it's like that. And I honestly think this is a potentially historic bunch of defenders right here. You got Marlon, you got Kyle Hamilton, you got Roquan, Agent Zero in the middle. Literally, as Lamar Jackson said in a press interview this week, almost like they're Ray Lewis. Come on. It doesn't get better than that. You're getting compared to Ray Lewis. I mean, we all know it, but the fact that his teammates recognize him, that's great. We've needed that central leadership. I mean, the defensive line. Oh, sorry. No, sorry.
No, go. I was totally agreeing with you. I think he definitely is the main like you can't discount that. I think, but the fact that these guys are stepping up, Marlon Humphrey's out, Marcus Williams goes down. I can't even name half the pass rushers we have because it's guys like Ajabo and so Irway are out. Bowser's coming back, I think, this week. He's been out, and so like all these guys have stepped up, and they haven't missed a beat. And how big that's going to be down the stretch when they become legit depth that you can trust in big situations. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, you have. Oh, sorry, Russ. You better say something.
Yeah, the fact that Geno Stone has stepped up to the point now that we're talking when Marcus Williams is back, Hamilton can stay playing the slot.
Yeah,
because we have two safeties back there
that's great.
We can trust.
We also saying that maybe Marlon Humphrey can go in the slot because the quarterbacks can be trusted. Like that's where Marlon Humphrey really shines, and it's in the slot. But for the longest time, we've never had any outside guy other than Peters.
Brandon Stevens, he was supposed to be safety again this year, but because of injuries, he had to play corner. Beat up all preseason. Like, what is it? Look, he had his first career pick last week.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this defense, again, we're used to talking about injuries. What we're not used to talking about is the fact that we still look great. That's the wildest thing about it. It's like our depth, we finally have that depth we've always needed that we never really had where we're calling practice squad guys up. No, like we have legit dogs out there that are stepping up in leadership roles that weren't there before. We haven't skipped a beat on defense. It's been great from game one. I'm excited to see what they do against Kenny Pickett, bro. A kid that
you get the feeling like we've been hurt for so long, for so many years, that at this point, like we're built for it now. And all the other teams, we're losing guys like Chubb, and losing guys like Conklin, and losing guys like Hayward in the middle, and Aaron Rodgers, and they can't like deal with it because they've never dealt with adversity. And here, where it's like fifth string corner, put him in. With the wild card game last year with Duvernay at receiver and Huntley under center. Like fuck it, like Christ.
Let's fucking go. Oh god. Yeah, like again, we have just such a battle-tested team that as long as I think as long as like certain key members of that defense, again, Roquan, Lamar, those guys stay healthy, they keep being leaders where we needed them. I think the sky's the limit. We've never had solid leadership until this season. I'll be real with you. We have not. And here we are. Is this still the Ravens' best rival? Is this still their biggest rival? What do y'all thought in the post-Ben era?
What do you think, Ross?
I mean, obviously, it's got to be the Bengals right now. I mean, who's won the division the last 2 years? Mm-hmm. I mean, the Raven Steelers will always be a Raven Steeler, no matter who's. Remember, they rolled out quarterbacks like Duck and Rudolph and had close. We beat them with Ryan Mallett.
Holy shit!
It don't matter who plays quarterback when we play against the Steelers. Whoever, but. In terms of rivalry, for the division, it's the Bengals.
Yeah,
but
I think the NFL recognizes it's the Bengals, and that's why we're getting them on Thursday night, and we're playing Pittsburgh twice at 1:00. It used to be Sunday night. That was the game to watch on Sunday Night Football, and then we play them again on Christmas Eve or something. So this is, I think, it's still the Bengals, and I think playing them 3 times last year was very similar to like 08 when we played the Steelers a few
Mhm.
times. They're not as hard hitting. They're a little more. I think they're not as chippy, but they're a little more bad blood, if you ask me. Like I feel like the Steelers games of old, it was like respect. It was like Palomalu versus Reed and Ray Lewis versus Big Ben, and but now it's like crybabies from the Bengals, But I think this game could reestablish the Steelers Ravens rivalry, especially with the Bengals already 1-3 and maybe 1-4 after they play the Cardinals. They're not looking very hot, and I think the Steelers are going to probably be around the conversation when the season ends, just because they're not as beat up as the Browns and Bengals.
Yeah. I actually heard something else in one of the press conferences. Pat Queen talking about Mike Tomlin shouting to him his rookie season, saying, "You're not a Raven. You don't belong here." Yada yada, all this shit talking. And there's two parts to it. Number one, it's like you could definitely tell that hurt that man. That man was hurt. But again, as a coach, why would you shout that? But number two, the fact he's harboring this. Again, that's the beauty of the Ravens Steelers rivalry. I mean, it's just raw, man. And again, I think, like you said, that prestige, that kind of gentleman's honor that we used to have with the Ravens and Steelers is out the door. I don't know. It's a new era of football, man.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's playing pretend football these days. And what are you going to say, Ross? I mean, I think you probably agree.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but I mean, like I said, still, we still say you're not really a Raven until you beat Pittsburgh. Surprisingly, Roquan still says, "I want to become a real Raven." I was like, "But dude, you beat him last year. But Roquan ain't done."
He said every season.
Every season, he's like, "Oh, okay,
I'm not a Raven yet.
no, it's okay." I'm,
I
I'm gonna be
think those
wondering.
boys lay some hammers this weekend.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think there's gonna be some violence.
Patty Queen's going to
Yeah,
have a
Kenny.
game.
Yeah.
You got Kenny Pickett, who knows how well he can move around.
Yeah, I think Kyle Hamilton's going to be a force on Sunday. I think Patrick Queen has, I'm going to say it, his best game as a Raven. And I think that it's just because of what Roquan Smith brings to the table and that passion. You don't got to pump up the Ravens for this football game. They understand what a 4-1 record is going to mean and 3-0 in their division, all on the road. And Pittsburgh, you don't need it anymore. And the Orioles play it. It's like the whole thing. Like I think they're buying in. I don't know if you saw the video of the Ravens today, but it was like Orioles, Ravens, Orioles, Ravens, Orioles, Ravens for one. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they ran a ton with the Oriole flag. But I think that the fact that Roquan Smith's in this football game, it's like the only player I think on either side, maybe TJ Watt's the other one, where you could have put them on that 08 club and they'd fit right in. I don't think anybody else really
No one.
has the the blue blood that you need for this
I think Kyle got
Iowa
it.
game. Yeah.
I think
Kyle probably, yeah.
Kyle Hamilton has it, dude. I'm telling you, he has it. I think we snagged our own version of Palomalu with him, and we couldn't be more blessed, honestly. Shout out to that guy. No, it's gonna be an exciting weekend again of just Baltimore sports across Birdland. Wow. We used to pray for times like these, as Meek Mill once said. We used to pray for times like these. Orioles playoff baseball meaning something in October. Ravens Steelers football. It doesn't get better than this. Jordan, any last words?
I mean, this is my Sunday morning. We'll wake up, have some waffles, and then 1 o'clock Ravens game, Steelers. And then that game may not even be over yet. When you're flipping the damn channel, it's game one of the ALDS, and you've got pregame going over there. Ravens Steelers on CBS, and then it's insanity that it's literally 8 hours of sports.
That's
Orioles and Ravens. Ravens Steelers no less. Like that's perfect. And then Orioles the next day. Like there's no rest of the weary. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Ross.
Yeah, like I said, start off Saturday, 1 o'clock game. You get that out of the way. Wake up Sunday. You're ready for the Raven Steeler game, 1 o'clock. Like Jordan said, flip on over. What's going to be probably one of the first Sundays I haven't flipped the red zone on after the Ravens game. I could give a damn about football after that. Football's dead to me after that.
There's also some decent games
after that Steeler game. What football? I'm done. Baseball time.
Just played Fields tonight in fantasy for the sake I don't have to watch Dobbs play at 4 o'clock on Sunday. I can just watch the Orioles.
There you go. Oh man, no, it's gonna be an exciting weekend. I'm super hyped for it. Oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna be covering this. We'll have a recap episode coming probably at some point. We will also don't be sure to check out our Orioles pregame show. That is up. There'll be a link in the bio. You can click there. Don't forget to like and subscribe and go Ravens. Pause. The old Steelers versus Ravens rivalry game. We've been talking about this for years. All right. All right, guys. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some football. In 3, 2, 1. And cut. All right. We're out. That was awesome. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to put up this video. And, yeah. All right, guys.
Jordan, I just hope for your sake, Jordan, that other people on your team don't have a goose egg, because I lost to Miss Colleen because I had 47 points from Tua on my bench and a combined 1.4 points from Isaiah Likely and Drake London.
Yeah, I am worried about it, but we'll see. I'm not too scared of guys like Park, and I think he's got the other Miami running back that's not leading the NFL in touchdowns, and I think Mozart's getting faded out a little bit in that offense. And so he's doing the dirty work, and then around the mat, we'll see. But I feel okay-ish. I do think Chase goes off this weekend for the Bengals. I cannot see them losing to the Cardinals. It's too much on the line.
And if they do, that's a telling sign of that franchise.
Right?
No, man, they're gonna lose that game. They're gonna shut Bird down. They're gonna tank. They're gonna draft Marvin Harrison Jr. They're gonna let T. Higgins walk. God, it's a script.
God damn it.
Oh my god, that would be absolute torture. No.
They need defense, though. They just can't afford to take Marvin Harrison Jr. He ain't that much better than T. Higgins. T. Higgins is good. I know Marvin Harrison is really good, but you can only throw the ball 30 times a game. Like,
and you have to spend time with Jamar Chase. That he isn't going to lose his touches from his best friend.
No, and T. Higgins catches everything also, so it's not like you're robbing Peter to pay a little bit more for Paul. But I do love Marvin Harrison. He's probably the best wide receiver in the NFL as soon as he comes in.
Yeah. No, yeah, exciting weekend, guys. I'll keep y'all up to date on the video. All right, I'm gonna get out of here.
All right.
All right, peace.